This video is made possible by our loyal Patreon supporters. Visit patreon.com. Hey, it's Corrina, your virtual health coach, and today I want to share with you 5 simple tips to improve your diet. So because it's hard to know what you're eating, it's a little hard putting these videos together because I don't know if I'm just giving advice that everyone knows already, or if maybe you're going to learn something in this video that's super valuable to you. So I would love for you to comment below and let me know, what do you think is the biggest problem in your diet? Or what do you think is the biggest problem in your diet that probably needs to be resolved? And then that will help me formulate another video where I can address specifically the problems in your diet. Be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you never miss my videos. And if you haven't already, follow us on social media for tips, tutorials, giveaways, and daily inspiration. So I've talked a lot over the years about refined carbohydrates, the enriched flour that you find in white bread, pasta, flour tortillas, etc. So they actually take the grain and they start removing parts of the grain so they can isolate that starchy part. And what that creates is a white bread product that's very rewarding to the reward systems of our brain because of all that starch. But what is missing from the grain are all of the important components of fiber, a lot of the minerals, a lot of the nutrients. So if we can get rid of those empty carbohydrates, get rid of the white bread, and either opt for something like whole grain products, or I have another thing here. This is a cauliflower-based baking mix. So you can literally use a plant-based, non-wheat flour in the things you're already making. That'd be another great example. And then another good example is to switch out your enriched wheat pasta for a pasta that's made from plants. So here I have some chickpea pasta, some green pea rotini. So what we get when we are eating something that's made from an actual food, and especially a nutrient-dense plant-based food like green peas or chickpeas, we get a lot of nutrients, we get a lot of fiber, we also get a lot of protein. So 11 grams of protein here on the green pea rotinis, 25 grams of protein on the chickpea pasta. So this is just a great example of how when we swap out empty carbohydrates for real foods, we are going to be giving such a big gift to our body, and that meal is actually going to keep us full longer. It's going to contribute to weight loss if that's something that we're working towards, because anytime we reduce empty carbs, that's going to help with weight loss. And it's going to help you to meet your daily recommended servings of vegetables every day. So we're recommended 5 to 9 servings of vegetables. And if you're swapping out your pasta for something that counts as a vegetable, you've got a double win. So along those same lines, tip number 2 is to swap out your refined sugar for natural sweeteners. And there's several reasons that we would want to do this. So number 1, that refined sugar, that process of taking a food like sugar cane or sugar beet, and then taking some things out and highly concentrating the sweet part, this is the same thing that they do to the white bread, the refining process. It's also the same thing they do to cocaine, right? Which is why a little coca leaf is totally different than the white powder, right? And the same thing could be said for a sugar beet versus white sugar, okay? So getting rid of those refined sweeteners, getting rid of sugar, okay, when it just says sugar on the label, that's your refined white sugar. And I recommend instead to have a sweetener that comes from a food. So maybe your first best bet is to just eat fruit instead of sweetness. And I just want to tell you that if you are replacing desserts and sweet foods with fruit, that is a really, really great thing to do. And then another example would be something like coconut sugar, as an example. So when you're eating something that is sourced from a natural food, it gives us so many nutrients. It gives us a much easier time, or it gives our body a much easier time in trying to digest that food. Another example would be using maple syrup. Instead of the typical pancake syrup, which if you look at the ingredients, it's usually high fructose corn syrup with some maple flavor added. Whereas if you're just eating 100% pure maple syrup, you're getting a huge amount of minerals and B vitamins and all of these nutrients that are nowhere to be found in your typical table sugar. Some other ways to naturally sweeten a food might be stevia, or using dates. Dates are a great thing to add into your smoothies. You can use them in baking. That would be a great example of a whole food that's replacing refined sugar. And when it comes to the sugar alcohols like erythritol, honestly, I'm gonna maybe even do a whole other video on that topic. I would definitely say that they are a good step up from the regular refined sugar or high fructose corn syrup, but there have been some issues associated with eating too many sugar alcohols. So again, I would tell you, revert back to the natural food sources of sweetness. Tip number 3 is to do more meal planning, meal prepping, and cooking at home. Even if you were to cook at home the exact same meal that you would like to go out and eat at a restaurant, it's going to be so much healthier when you make it yourself in your own kitchen. Part of this is because restaurants are often using really cheap, highly processed ingredients because they have to make really massive amounts of food. There's also a really good chance that the oils that they're cooking in have been sitting there for a while, or that the vegetables or fruits that they might be using, if they use them at all, have traveled a really long distance to arrive at the restaurant. So when you're cooking at home, you are able to, number one, actually know what you're eating because you're the one making it. You're able to use higher quality ingredients, or maybe even locally sourced ingredients if we're talking about getting produce from your farmer's market. You're also able to make some of these swaps that we talked about, like using natural sweeteners instead of refined ones, or maybe using some of these plant-based pasta type products instead of your typical enriched pasta. There's also this component that the more that we are just prepared for hunger, we're in a much better situation for actually satisfying that hunger in a healthy way. And what I mean is that by the time you wait until you're starving, it's really hard to make a healthy option. But if you have planned ahead, knowing that you're gonna be hungry, because that's what human bodies do, then you have made some healthy snacks, you've brought your lunch with you, maybe you even do meal prep for the week where you actually take a couple hours on Sunday to make your lunches for the whole week ahead. Anything that you do to plan ahead is planning for success. Tip number 4, let's talk about my favorite thing, and perhaps your favorite thing too, chocolate. So kind of along these same lines, we've been talking about things that are highly processed. When we think about the typical chocolate we're consuming, or if you looked at the ingredient label, it'll say cocoa processed with alkali. Okay, there you have a chocolate product which really is not giving you very much nutrition other than the delightful taste of chocolate. But if you can eat raw cacao, okay, so cacao instead of cocoa, basically the only difference is the cacao has not been processed. And by the time you see it as cocoa on a label, that just means it's been processed, it's been heated, it's probably been refined. And what happens when you refine something, you strip it of all of its nutrients. So one cool thing about chocolate is that it's one of the highest dietary sources of magnesium of any food that we can eat. And if you're eating raw cacao in the form of these nibs or raw chocolate, you can also find raw powdered cacao. You're actually getting a huge amount of nutrients in addition to that really delightful chocolate flavor that for many of us sends a reward response to our brain just on its own. So switching to cacao instead of cocoa is a really good step in the right direction. Add it to your smoothies, add it to your yogurt in the morning, add it to your baking instead of chocolate chips. I encourage you to help acclimate your taste buds to eating raw cacao. If you need to eat it with a date or eat it with a banana to add a little bit of sweetness, go for it. Last but not least, let's talk about animal products. And for all of my plant-based eaters out there, you can just go ahead and click off this video right now. But I know that a lot of you out there eat animal products. So I want you to know that probably the most important thing you can do is to remove the processed animal products from your diet. So that's things like sausage, hot dogs, and even deli meat. So if you look at the ingredient label on your typical deli meat, it'll say something like mechanically separated turkey, corn syrup solids. Bottom line is that most of those deli meats are not real meat. And maybe they contain some small amount of meat, but they're mostly a bunch of added garbage. So if you are going to eat animal products, I encourage you to eat 100% whole natural animal products. So I have a couple examples here. Grass-fed ground beef. There's also a steak. These are from a company called ButcherBox. So ButcherBox will actually send you a giant box with a huge variety of meat, bacon, steaks, chicken, sirloin tips, ground beef, all kinds of different stuff. And it's really high quality. So when we're talking about animal products, number one, reducing those processed animal products from the diet. Number two, aiming for things that are grass-fed or pasture-raised. So a lot of the nutrients that we get when we eat an animal is from the nutrients that that animal ate. So in a factory farm where most of the conventional meat production occurs, those animals are being fed grains, they're being fed a lot of times it's the kind of leftovers from the food manufacturing industry of the foods that we eat. So those parts of the grain that they take out of our food, sometimes they'll put that into the animal feed. So what you get is not only an animal that wasn't very healthy, but an animal that when you eat it doesn't have as much nutrition to give to you. So opting for grass-fed, pasture-raised, organic, these are all good words to look for. And the main thing is just that if there's an ingredient label, it says 100% whatever the animal product is. Or maybe there's no ingredient label at all because it really is just that food and not a bunch of added garbage. Thank you for joining me in this video, and I really hope that you will chime in down in the comments and let me know, was all of this stupid information that you already knew? Or is there maybe a worst part of your diet that you would like me to address in a future video? I really, really love hearing from you guys in the comments, and it really helps me to shape these videos and know what type of information I need to address. So thank you in advance for leaving me your comment. Thank you in advance for joining me very soon in the next video. And I hope you have a really, really wonderful rest of your day.
Introducing Yoga Plus, offering a free series every month. with over 300 different videos. Take control of your health. Work out anytime, anywhere. Yoga Plus. Download now for free.